All right, today, September 30th, 2018, fall time, beautiful fall foliage. Crazy, crazy, time just flies, everybody, when you live far away. Okay, we're going to talk about some raw milk here in Maine of the USA. I'm still blown away and surprised here how they do not allow the sale of raw milk all over the U.S. It should be throughout the world. I mean, I'm not sure all the other regulations are, but I heard Canada is very stringent and strict too, from Ron Schmid's book, Untold Story of Milk. Schmid, he's got an excellent book, Untold Story of Milk, SCHMID. He is a former MIT graduate, was a naturopathic physician, the board of naturopathic physicians, as an alternative to medical doctors that used, herbs and food and diet, exercise, nutrition for practice to get people better. And the guy's got a wealth of knowledge, and he's got several different books. But since we're talking about the raw milk in this video, I was wanting to say I started initially from reading Weston A. Price's book, Nutrition and Physical Degeneration. I'm not going to talk much on that. Just quickly, I seen just like two tribe primitive members, the Maasai African tribe, the African herdsmen, and then the Swiss Aloich Channel Valley in Switzerland when Price was doing his studies. And then when I read through that, I seen the other cultures didn't have dairy. So I mean, it ain't mandatory, obviously. You could have bones and other things for calcium, and you could use vinegar and put it on the bones and let it sit for a couple days and get the minerals out of there that way, extract them that way, and then you could chew the bone and get more vitamins and minerals and eat the bone. It makes it weaker. But milk is really amazing. I mean, and it's a misconception saying, it's high fat, you're going to get blocked arteries and everything. I mean, that's not the situation. It's the, I think the homocysteine levels that can irritate people. And what's also crucial that no one ever mentions about, well, I can't say nobody. I think I heard a Jonas von der Planets mentioned it when he was alive, but I mean, I just found out about him a couple days ago, so all my research is my own. But as far as the milk, it makes a dramatic impact when it's raw. It makes you feel so much better. You don't have any of these cramps. So many people, okay, I'm guessing, this is all guessing as far as hypothesizing for estimations, like even in a worldwide, or say US only, I'll bet you probably 70-80% say they're allergic to raw milk. And the bottom line common denominator is it's because it's pasteurized and homogenized. I mean, that stuff will kill you. I mean, that stuff is horrible. That's because the milk is so dirty, they have to heat it so high. I mean, it's got filth, crap, I mean, feces. They're making sure it's freaking filthy. And so they have to revert to these measures, but then it ruins all the enzymes, the most crucial things, and the vitamins. It changes the composition, makeup of it. And I used to have, as a teenager, I used to be cramps, bloated. My face would break out, not severe my face, but I could hardly breathe even. I mean, that wasn't fun. My nose would get red. I could hardly breathe, have to open my mouth. But also have to take in consideration I had amalgam fillings in my mouth too. I was blessed with crappy food. And you can't blame your folks. I mean, if people don't know. But I mean, I didn't have, when you're a kid, you don't, you're relying on your parents to help you. And as far as dietary measures go, and I went to the dentist, I think, when I was 8 years old. I ate junk food galore till I was like 14 years old, and I changed a little bit, and then I found out about price. But reverting back now with the cow milk, though. So when I'm like a conditioning fanatic, okay? I've done well in my early years in high school and all that. I wasn't a fitness buff. I was in weight training, and I don't consider that at all being fit. It's like you're a phony figure. You don't. It's not that's no indication you're in great shape. You could take on the world. Your heart's in good. You're inside. Your heart is conditioned. In other words, you got a nice resting low heart rate. No, you don't. That's all crap. I was thinking that you weight train, if you're the strongest, you're more fit. That's all hogwash crap. You watch the UFCs, whoever busts this other person's head in, there's a rare chance that a like say the world's strongest guy or a super strong man can knock somebody out. But once it's only like a couple minutes, 3 minutes, not long at all, and they're gassed. They ain't got no stamina. And it doesn't mean you're not going to have any strength if you're in conditioning like a wrestler. And I've done weight training probably like from 14 years old. I had scoliosis, bad back, lordosis. My back curved in. If you look sideways, instead of scoliosis that way, side to side from hip to hip, mine was pushing in like the belly and the back, though, in the lower part near my spine. And it would hurt when I used to do squats with weight. And my grandfather used to tell me, you shouldn't do weights at all. I go, what's he talking about? What's he know? He's only, 50-something or 60 years old. And I'm only 14. I know more than my grampy. But no, that's not how it works, And I wish I listened to him. But I stuck with weight training, until I was in my early 30s, 32. And I stopped. When I seen a UFC fight, Tito Ortiz is someone else, and he beat the guy that was weight training, supposed to be some super strong guy. He made him look pitiful. I know he weight trains a little bit too, but he's more conditioning guru. But anyways, I seen that, and I go, I'm gonna condition myself. And I was having the raw milk. I was 33, and I've been having raw milk, but I noticed that it helps my stamina. Compared to pasteurized now. But the best, I thought, was raw fish. You get the most stamina. This is common in Japan. We shouldn't even have to explain, show videos of people eating raw fish. Go to Japan. That's all they do is eat raw fish. So, I don't consider myself a freak at all. I'm from Northern Europe. My heritage is Russian, German, Polish, Irish, and I have Native American. I need to do a genealogy test to see what my roots are, because I really would like to know how much Native American I have in me. So I'm like a hybrid, I consider myself, because I make kefir, and that's a European thing, and then I use Native American ways with a lot of things, for cold smoke and mackerel and stuff, and different things like that. But when you use the milk, when it's raw, I haven't had no problems being sick, or you feel way better. Matter of fact, it's like a drug. The milk itself, the kefir is actually even better, because the kefir's got an natural alcohol content in it when it's fermented. You can make a secondary fermentation on it. It's stronger. It'd be like a Colt 45 beer almost. And and you could have it plain. It's either, you can make it either fizzy, then also sour, tart, has the effervescence, it tastes really good just by itself, plain. You don't need nothing. You could put frozen fruit in there, mix it in, because it's sour or tart. as far as flavors go. And but that, that's the dairy things there. But like with the milk, you could use this milk to make kefir, which I do. I freeze it. I buy a bunch, like 8 gallons. We got stuff here in North Central. Well, it's in actually Franklin, Maine. This guy, it's organic raw cow milk, and it's kind of pitiful here in the U.S. about that yet. I hope the people get their heads on straight about it by not allowing, they're not allowing all the states to legalize it yet. It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what people want to have with kids. With here, and I got to revert again to Weston A. Price with the children. I mean, you want, all the teeth, everything get all messed up, your facial features, dental problems. It's all compounded. You got to have the healthy stuff, healthy fats, and then you need these great books. So, The Untold Story of Milk, one of the things I remember vividly in Ron Schmid's book here was how I thought it was Ontario, or one of the provinces in Canada, they can't even sell raw milk. They'll get like a $50,000 fine. I go, you people are out of your mind. Whoever is over there, they need to tell the higher-ups to straighten up, because they've lost their marbles not to allow this incredible healthy food. I mean, not everybody could, is not allergic to it. There are people that are, genuinely are, but there's a lot less that are. Have they, if they tried having grass-fed milk, and in Price, in Ron Schmid's book here, he mentions that, you should have, you should take it slow, have a little bit, have a cup or two or whatever, and see how you feel, and gradually add some more within a couple weeks. If you thought you had an allergy, but chances are it's the grain, the wheats. A lot of people known allergens, wheats, peanuts, whatever, and then oats. So that could be a big factor to help you out and help your children out. They should have that. If you're in a state that doesn't allow this, you got to fight and complain with your higher ups. It's absolutely ridiculous. You feel so much better. I've never had a sinus issue now. I could always breathe through my nose. When I was younger, I was like a mouth breather. It was so bad, be blocked up. I have all the milk I want. I've had up to 1.5 gallons a day. I've had that much. I cut way back now. I have maybe a half gallon now. Sometimes more, 3/4 of a gallon. It's just I notice I don't need it. I eat really good, super nutrient dense foods. I have macro. I have more of that. I got the probiotics in the kefir. I have raw eggs, all kinds of them, half a dozen a day normally now. They don't bother your digestion system. That's why you got to have it all raw. When you cook it, it's like a nightmare trying to go through your system. It's like you bind through, and you got to go to do a number 2 with the eggs. They bind right up. So if you have that all loose, you don't cook it, it'll go right out of you. You ain't going to have no problems. And the milk, too, you'll go. You won't have any, and the meat, all that, when it's raw, you'll go right out to the bathroom. It's going to use itself up. Yeah, I'm like very into my health. I got to, because, I don't have to. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I take really extreme, great care of myself, 49 years old, and I'm still in really excellent condition. No, I've been slacking off pretty bad. I'm a critic. I'm skeptic. I don't pretend to have all the answers. I'm not a narcissist. I don't have all the answers. But I know raw milk helps a lot. You could use it. You could use the raw milk itself. Get a container, glass container, pour it in like, half-gallon glass jar. Put your raw meat in there and put it in the refrigerator. okay? Because what's going to happen is you'll have clabbered milk. It will like uh, get like a yogurt consistency, almost like a kefir. It'll harden right up where, you know, your fish won't, you know, you got to put it inside the refrigerator so that it's still like a liquid form. But I always usually do the kefir. I'm going to try using the milk to make sure, as far as like raw fish, because the mackerel, I do that all the time. I soak the fish. It makes the fish so weak in flavor. You can hardly tell you're eating fish, okay? And I mean, oily fish is strong. Ordinarily, it's extremely strong. When you heat it, I don't like it. I don't eat cooked mackerel. I don't want it. It stinks the whole house up. No. I haven't done that in probably 6 years. And so, maybe it's even longer. But anyways, yeah, maybe it's been longer than that. Probably like 7 or 8 or more. But, yeah, I mean, so that it's got so many beneficial things. You could use, you know, raw milk to preserve your foods and put it in the refrigerator, or, you know, or make the kefir be better because it ferments it. And well, actually, you got to put sea salt in there too, so it don't decompose too quick. But anyways, it's just amazing. You know, raw milk is healthy. I mean, I don't ever have a problem. I got stamina. My heart rate was in the 30s, man. That's elite. I'm not trying to be a braggart or anything, but I mean, you're in great shape when you're that low, your resting heart rate. You know, if you're not injured, you know, I got a serious condition. I did damn well. I kicked myself for not putting videos up on YouTube to show with a wrist monitor, heart rate monitor watch. I had one, and then I got to get another one. And I was wanting to do actually like long distance, like ultra running. But I mean, I'm diabetic, man. You go an hour, you don't know what your sugar is, so you got to stop and prick your finger. I mean, they got them gluco watches, but they're like I don't know if it's $4 or $6 a day. You use a freaking battery. I mean, well, I'd have to be safe. I mean, I can't run far. You know, you can't do that. I did a lot of rope skipping, an incredible amount of jump rope training with calisthenics, like wrestling training. I mean, I did an incredible amount of that. And from when I was 33 years old, I've done all calisthenics. I've done sprints, but mostly circuit training, a lot of that too, with a lot of jump rope skipping. Buddy Lee's Jump Rope Training. It's an excellent book. It's like I think it's 147 pages long. I mean, it's an excellent book. And I would like do a calisthenics and then for like a minute, and then I would jump rope for a minute to 3 to 4 minutes straight. And then right away do another different kind of calisthenics. I'd always change it up. I'd do calisthenics first, then rope skipping. I used to count my jump ropes, and then that's impossible. You can't count it accurately. But anyways, but so for the milk though, I mean, it is super healthy. You could breathe. There's omega-3 oil in it. I mean, when I was a vegan, I didn't have a clue, because I was a vegan for 4 years, and I had no idea that raw milk, well, pasteurized and homogenized does too, but you don't get allergic reactions ordinarily. It's extremely rare when it's raw. Extremely. Most people get sick from the pasteurized milk, not the raw. So that's a fallacy. You got to read these books. There's another book by Campbell I want to get. He's got an excellent one, I heard. I want to get that one on Amazon. But yeah, I have this by Ron Schmid. Excellent book. Highly recommend it. Also, a raw milk resource guide. This was giving me the idea on kefir. It was mentioned in the Middle East where they would have raw meat, or I think it said beef, raw meat for like, I don't know if it was 5 more years, and it was still good. The enzymes in the milk. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I know it's just the milk itself, not the kefir. But it's crazy how it preserves it, see? I mean, so that, you know, if you want to have it still fresh, because when you freeze it, it gets freezer burn. You know, small fish, if you like fish, for instance, they're going to get freezer burn. So, to bypass that, or else use the bags that take out all the air, and that would work too. But I mean, if you want to have the fish where it's still like super fresh, put it in raw milk in the refrigerator, the lid on it, and you should be fine that way. I mean, you could gas it out every day if you wanted to, if you're worried about bacteria. Yeah, I might have to do that actually, because I think I read the fermentation with high meat, they do that. I mean, I haven't. I'm gonna do that myself and do my own out in the woods like the Eskimos did as well. I haven't had the time. I do a lot of different things with nutrition. Unlike a lot of people are gaining ground. I was unaware, like I was saying, the Jonas fellow. So I just found out about him now about 4 days ago, I think, not 3 or 4. So, and I ordered one of his books, so I didn't get it yet, just to see what's up. I mean, I heard people complain about some things about it, but I mean, you know what? You just pick all the good things that they help you. You can't critic and know everything. If you're that kind of person, then you're the narcissist. I mean, people criticize, I criticize. However, there's always something good in the darn book. Well, not all, most written work has something useful or beneficial, positive you could say out of it. But I think I'm about done. I don't know, maybe I didn't say what I wanted to say enough thoroughly for people, but if you're either vegan, you don't have to be vegan, but someone that hasn't had raw milk or is scared of it, you just start off slower. But I mean, you're going to feel right away, like say if you have African heritage, like if you're a bigger person, like a Maasai tribe member, the African tribesmen, they're giant, they're super tall, and those people probably right away will know when it's raw, if they didn't know. And we got all kinds of African American people here in the U.S., so. And also, I'm a Native American. I got that in me. So we're not supposed to be able to handle the raw milk. I'm doing fine, but I don't know what percentage I have because I'm not nowhere near full-blooded. I don't know. I'm lucky if I have, I'm guessing, I'm lucky if I have 25%. Probably not even. Probably like 17 or less. But I don't know exactly yet. But I plan on getting a genealogy test done about that. And so yeah, and also what's good to do, I'll do another video on it, it's too many. You'll find out. I'm gonna use Irish moss to make the Irish moss stuff they do in Ireland with the milk, the raw milk. They don't use raw milk, I don't think, though, that often. The Irish pudding. That's what I meant to say. Yeah, I'll show you how to do that too. Okay. A real efficient way. You won't mess it up. It'll come out excellent all the time.